What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Bo Davis, reportedly, according to Luke Johnson, who does an excellent job covering the New Orleans Saints for the Times-Picayune.com. Luke Johnson saying that Bo Davis being hired away from LSU to coach the New Orleans Saints, and it's a bit of a weird thing to react to, as most people who are Saints fans are also LSU fans. And so on one hand, you should be happy that at a time when the Saints are trying to find their way, they had one of the best defensive line coaches to try to help guys like Brian Brzee and this new defensive line that you'll probably invest even more in to try to develop and whatnot. But you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're taking away from your favorite college team. And here's maybe the most disappointing part. So Sylvain on Twitter says, not only are the Saints bad, they can't let LSU be great. So I think to me, the sentiment there, I do agree with, which is that, and look, I'm happy for Bo Davis personally because the NFL life is way better than the college life. But the sentiment there, I do agree with, in that Bo Davis means multiple orders of magnitude more to LSU than he will to the New Orleans Saints. There's no recruiting in the NFL. Bo Davis is an expert level recruiter. And the Saints are so bad, this does not all of a sudden make them good. It makes them better, but it doesn't make them good. It doesn't make them a playoff team, nothing like that. Whereas with LSU, Bo Davis I viewed as a key piece of any potential champion pursuits that you would have over the next few years. So maybe that's, if you're purely an LSU fan, that's maybe, or even if you're a fan of both, that's the most complicated thing to parse in my mind. Is I'm happy for Bo. It's good for the Saints, but the impact on LSU is greater. The absence of Bo Davis is a greater impact on LSU than it is in the addition for the Saints.
Yes, and I'm not a Saints fan, so I can be really mad at this. Gosh, you said it perfectly there. He's a great coach, on the field, and I've known Bo forever. I mean, he was an assistant in the weight room when I first got to LSU. I mean, that's kind of where he started after he played at LSU. So I've known Bo for a long time, and you could always tell he was going to be a really good football coach and a great motivator. And it's no surprise that he crushed it on the recruiting trail. So he's going to make the Saints defensive line better. I don't think there's any question about that. But you do take away a skill set that he had that was elite. You don't recruit in the NFL. You're right, T. People beg and scratch and claw to be in the NFL. They do whatever they can. We got a whole group in Indy right now trying to make it to the NFL and be the next stars of the National Football League. So you don't have to do that. So, that's probably something maybe he enjoys that. Maybe he's really good at it, but he doesn't enjoy it. I mean, there's skills that all of us have that maybe we're good at. That doesn't mean that we like it. So, for him personally, he can just go coach football now, which if he's getting paid close to the same that he was at LSU, I'm sure that he's excited about that. But there's no show that can come on here today and tell you this isn't a major loss for LSU. And if they tell you that, they're either lying to you or they don't know ball. That's just the way to put it. This is a big loss for LSU. It is not going to be something where you just hand wave this. Bo Davis on the field, off the field, in recruiting was a big benefit for you. And when you got him from Texas, we were all celebrating that.
That was a coup.
In the transfer portal too, not just high school recruiting. Because Bo Diddley can go out there and be like, hey, here's who I've put into the NFL, and hey, you've got one more year left and I can do that for you. I mean, so it wasn't just high school. It's going to be the portal. It's going to be on the field stuff. And I think as much as, this is going to probably help the New Orleans Saints on the field, it's a massive loss for LSU on and off the field.
So let's unwrap this Bo Davis talk by talking about a couple of potential names. Obviously, chat is saying Coach O, which, to be fair, would actually be great because that's a guy who's an even, probably legitimately almost GOAT status recruiting wise everywhere he's been. an incredible resume of guys that he sent to the league, an incredible technician, but there's just no chance.
No.
Right? Once you have supped from the head coaching cup, you're not going to come back
Well,
and be D-line coach.
Vance Joseph was the head coach of the Broncos. Now he's their defense coordinator.
Yes, maybe a bit different in the NFL. And plus, with the added context of how things ended with O and BK and everything coming in. And that would be the dream. So I don't think that's happening. I don't know, though, Jake. Like, there's not, and this is why Bo Davis was kind of interesting and singular. There's not really a name out there that is going to have a lot of recognition. What is Ryan Nielsen doing nowadays?
Oh man. That's a name I haven't thought about in a long time. I mean, we had conversations about him, potentially being the coordinator at LSU for a long time. I'm with you. And maybe there is a name like in college football circles, but the thing with Bo is he played at LSU. He was around LSU. And then when he wasn't around LSU, he was still around the SEC. And so his name was always fresh on our mind. And so, yeah, there could be, I mean, you're LSU, you shoot for the moon. You don't just settle for somebody. You go steal somebody. You go get whoever the best one possibly that would entertain coming to Baton Rouge. But, we'll have to see. Like, we'd have to be proven that he's better than Bo Davis because, again, Bo being a Tiger, being somebody that's been around the SEC, we know him better. We know his resume better. We know the lure of Bo Davis a little bit better.
It looks like Ryan Nielsen is he was the D coordinator for Jacksonville last season. He may have been fired to that. It looks like he's a senior defensive assistant for the Bills right now. So, I mean, actually, maybe. One interesting name, and again, this is one that's just a bit headline grabby. Somebody in chat said it, though, talking about Warren Sapp, who's fallen in love with coaching. He's an assistant on Colorado's staff. I don't know. We'll see. There's a million different options. I don't know the D-line scene well enough, but the big news here, good for the Saints, worse for LSU. Bo Davis leaving the Tigers, going to the Saints. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.